Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question. Are we going to have everybody come on and actually ask, or are we going to ask from the chat?
Well, I'm not going to stream this in Facebook. It's all going to be right here so people can do what they would like if they want to ask it inside the chat because they don't want to be, vocal or audio. And then for the people that would like to say, hey, I have no problem showing my face or talking to the world, we'll allow them to do that as well, Craig. So thanks for asking.
Absolutely. If you want to make me co-host, that'll help too.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are so happy to have you with us on this amazing, it starts with an AMA, Ask Me Anything with Robert Hollis. And you are in for a treat. I hope you have questions ready for Robert. And we're going to do it as we had just kind of described, two ways. You can ask a question in the chat. If you want to open the chat window, for those of you who do not know how, at the bottom of your screen, put the cursor in the middle of the screen. At the bottom, you see a whole bunch of buttons. Click on chat, okay? Click on that button, and to the right of the screen, you'll see a chat window at the bottom where it says to. So go ahead and type question and then your question following that, and you'll be included in the questions that we ask Robert. Now, if you want to ask Robert personally, now, if you want to ask questions of Robert personally, that's fantastic. Okay, so click on raise your hand, and that's very simple. At the bottom of the participants window to the right, if you've clicked on participants, there is a button there that says raise your hand, like Bill Schumacher just did. And you'll see that his hand is raised, and we will call on you in the order in which we see the raised hand. So you've got a lot of opportunities to ask Robert a question, either come on with him live and ask, or go ahead and ask the question in the chat. But please, if you're doing that in the chat so that I can pick it out for you, type question in front of it and then your question. I think that about covers it, Robert, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this. Let's get started. Please welcome our amazing AMA Ask Me Anything mentor, Robert Hollis.
Greg, thank you very much. I love and appreciate you so much. And Matthew, thank you so much for setting this all up. I don't think that we've ever done one this way. If we did, I don't remember. But to get every one of you up to speed, we're going to start doing a lot of Zooms during the week. We'll let you know when we're doing them. So make sure that you guys go to roberthollis.com/free and subscribe. We're going to really start doing some things. One of the biggest things that I love doing that we'll be doing very quickly is breakthroughs. So for any of you that have been part of my breakthroughs, post a yes in the chat, let people know, raise your hand, say yes, whatever. But what breakthroughs is a lot of people learn what to do, but then they don't know why they're not doing it. So what I do is I deal with you on an individual basis, and we actually record it so you can find out where the blockage is, what's wrong, why you're not doing what you're doing, and we help people individually. And what's unique about that is I know Lisa, I've been very, very blessed with Lisa and Curtis. I'm looking at, I think I've even done one with Craig, Lisa, and who else? Who on here? If you raise your hand, if I've done a breakthrough with you, Nicholas, Melody, of course. Melody's had like I think maybe about over 1,000 breakthrough sessions. And it's not that there's anything wrong with her. She's one of my $1 million earners, and we've known each other for a long, long, long time. I think I was introduced to Melody back in 2009, and her her awesome boyfriend, Doug, I knew 3 years prior to that. So this is how breakthrough works. I mean, not breakthrough, but ask me anything. There's really nothing off limits. Nothing off limits. Just to be upfront, I get my shirts from Tommy Bahama. I've been asked, I've been asked a lot of things, and I just want you to feel free ask anything, you know what I mean? And we'll do our best to accommodate you on that. I don't know how many of you are plugging in. Another plug is, you can go to roberthollis.com/steps, STEPS. And people are telling me, man, the ones that I've done recently, Master the Mundane, The Process, you know what I mean? And people are watching those and they're going, oh my God, I'm getting this. And I think each and every one of you that will watch this recorded, thank you for reaching out to me and going, Daniel from Colombia is going to be one of the ones that I reach out to, because he said, so when you first bring someone in, do a Zoom with them and find out what their goals are that you can help them accomplish. And he did this with a guy and he says, listen, I'm here to help you contact your people. And he goes, great. And he gave him 21 people. Then Daniel reached out to these people. And immediately when he reached out to them, they go, oh my God, Greg told you to send me a link. Please send it to me. I'll look at it right away. And now he's already gotten these people that are buying products and he's going, Robert, I don't know why I've been hearing you for a long time and I just don't do what you tell me to do. And my response to him is, you're human. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So again, if you, Nicholas and Bill, if you already are ready to ask a question, then your hands are up. And again, if you want to post them, I can't tell you how much I appreciate and love Craig Jackman. He's just such a great, yesterday I was screening through the channels and I seen Family Feud come on. And as soon as he came on, he started walking out. The guy went, and here is Steve Harvey. And I mean, I was going, that guy's got nothing on Craig Jackman. It's like, so I really appreciate you, Craig. So Craig, I'll let you host. We'll get going here.
Well, since I saw Bill's hand go up first, Bill Schumacher, unmute yourself and ask away. You can't. Okay, hold on. We'll get you.
There we go.
All right, there you go.
I got it. Thank you, Craig. And I'm a maker, not a mocker.
Oh, I'm sorry, maker.
And I don't make shoes either.
Hey, Craig, Bill, how many times have you had to say that in your life?
Many, and many other names as well. So yeah, I've been listening to you, Robert, for probably the better part of 2 years now and haven't taken the action that I should. And I'm working on myself. And they say that repetition is the mother of all learning. And so I've been repeatedly listening to you. So you're starting to sink in. So thank you for that. So my question is, I follow you. I'm very analytical and kind of like you, kind of like mechanically inclined and all that. And my question is, you were telling us what to say, during our conversations, the steps. One day, a few days ago, you were talking about the product and you intermixed it with the business. And then the last training you did, you just talked about the business. Now, do you intermix all the time or you just made a decision to do one way or the other?
Great question, Bill. And you'll get it. You'll get it. I know people that are extremely analytical. They really, really mentally struggle with just trusting a process and just doing it. And the first thing I'll share with you, even though that wasn't one of your questions, Bill, is you sort of got to put your back against the wall. I always tell people, if you're super analytical and a person that feels like you're a perfectionist and you need to know everything before moving forward because you're scared not to know everything, you're scared not to have the right answer. We're sort of taught in school that if you don't know the answer, you look sort of stupid. You know what I mean? So if you don't know the answer, that's how you hide behind everyone to make sure that the teacher doesn't call on you. And I see a few heads nodding in here big time, right? And if you guys ever notice this, when you get a job, you're able to take that switch in your head and switch it off. Because when you get a job, the person that's training you says, Bill, we do it this way, this way, this way. And we go, okay. Why? Because if we don't, we're fired. So the repercussions of doing things is when it's higher, we have more trust. There's a thing where we could switch our paradigm and go, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And after I learn it and I make them happy in the way that I'm doing it, then I'll pull my analytical self in and I'll start perfecting this, and I'll make it smoother, more efficient, less steps. And that's what's really great about analytical people. Me being an auto mechanic, once I learned how to do a brake job or learned how to change a clutch or learn how to pull an engine, I just efficiently got better and better and better and better and better, faster, more effective. And so, so that's the deal. And Bill, so the answer to the real question that you asked is when I talked about the 6 things that you need to, the 6 faculties that you need to look at, usually I can tell by a person's profile or just in a few questions that I ask them. Immediately through intuition, I know which way to lead. Now, here's why I lead with the opportunity all the time. Because right now I know there's a lot of people that money is on their forefront of their mind. They're like, you know, you see them constantly, these people that have the ability just to be able to post on social media exactly what they're thinking. And it's like, for the love of God, why is the price of gas this high? Why is the, you know, my groceries are so much? We have a very dear friend. His name is Dr. G. And he's one of the best chiropractors I've ever met. And I didn't even think about this. I reach out to him and he's going, I go, listen, Terry and I would like to set up and start seeing you again now that we're in California. And he goes, the pandemic wiped out my office. I shut all my practices down. This guy's practice was freaking huge. And now what he does is he just has certain clients that he sees and he actually comes to them. And so I said, well, great, come over to the house. And his first thing that he said, well, he says, I had a crew cab, Toyota Tundra. And he says, I cannot believe that it cost me $180 to fill it up. And of course, we're in California. So some of you are going, where are you at? Yeah. And so it's funny that, you know, when he showed up, even though he loved almost all the products that we had, but his focus at that point in time, Bill, was not to make extra money, because honestly, this guy doesn't need money. And so I said, well, listen, let me talk to you about the FFX. So you got to ask a few questions. That's why I love telling people, do me a huge favor, click on the link, you know, please watch the video. And at any time, you can click on the get started and actually become a free affiliate. And so the common question we always ask everyone is, hey, listen, so when you watch the video, what'd you like the most? And that's going to give you a great indicator, a very good indicator. Well, tell me a little more about the bath bombs. You know what I mean? You're going, I don't, hey, sorry about that, you guys. You know, I never thought about leading with the bath bombs. So Bill, the answer to the question is I always lead at default with asking people to do me a huge personal favor and to look at the information so they know of someone that they can refer me to. And that's when they usually give me the feedback. Well, tell me a little more about this. I just did this yesterday, Bill, with a person that I've known for years that has never ever done this industry, never done this industry. And his very first two questions is, are you telling me that I'll get a link that is coded to me so I get credit? And I said, yes. And he says, how much would I make when a person buys product? See, so if I would have led with the product, Bill, I would have messed up with him. So did that help you?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, so you mix it up according to who you're talking to.
Yeah, use intuition. And again, don't be a perfectionist. Don't think you're going to make a mistake, because if you reach out to somebody and they are opportunity driven and you say something about the product, they'll correct you, and they're not going to be mean about it. They're not going to, well, the first question will be, hey, you know, Are you trying, would you be interested in knowing how you could save money on your fuel? See, that's direct. I would never do that. And so I would say, listen, do you know of anyone that might be interested in saving money on their fuel? I'm always doing the side door approach. It works every time. And then a person goes, no, I don't. You know, don't you guys still find people that know nobody? When we know that's impossible. Wait a minute, Bill, you have 4,000 friends on Facebook. What do you mean you don't know anybody? So I hope that helped, Bill.
It did, Robert. Thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you, Bill. Great question.
And not only that, Bill, I think following it up with what Robert shared with us this last Thursday, when watching his video, The Process, which you can find on his YouTube channel and on his Facebook page, it talks about it a lot, about what Robert says and does and how he goes about doing it. So that's not just for you, it's also for everybody who's watching.
Yes.
All right, next up, Nicholas Henriksen from overseas. Nicholas, thank you so much. Join us.
Hey, Robert. I would like to ask, because I became aware recently after posting on one of your recent live streams, you know, where I talked about changing things, that I have been focused on the wrong thing. And a big pop for me was that I should focus on doing all the steps in order, especially the ones that I have been putting off. So I started doing that, and I can tell you the last couple of days I've been filled with gratitude. But I also know that every time I do this, I'm gonna get a little bit success as well, because I always get that when I do the right things in the right order. But what I also every time experience is that it can take a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then I get to a place where I wake up one day and it feels like these, you know, these mindset tools that we have for the morning routine, for example, it feels like they don't work anymore, and it's hard to getting into the right mindset. Eventually that day will come. What do I do then?
Yeah.
Do you have any advice?
Nicholas, first of all, what time is it in Sweden?
It's 9:17 p.m. here.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Nicholas, for getting on. And when I did this with my hands, ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas, I knew exactly what you were going to say. It's like you get on track, you got the combination perfect, and then all of a sudden it doesn't seem to have the same results. And then all of a sudden it seems like it has no results. If you guys know, and you don't have to know, but in every person, there's this thing called a slump. So you get a person that's just an amazing pitcher, you know, or a great basketball shooter, or great at football. And then all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, he threw an interception. Uh-oh. I mean, I've seen guys that get paid $35 million a year shoot a basketball and don't even hit the backboard or the rim. It's just air ball. You know what I mean? And it's funny because if you're, you know, you're very successful and you got the whole crowd all together, you know, 30,000 people going air ball, you know, and it's like, you can allow that to really take the wind out of your sails. Me, because I brought up driving and racing, you know, you're in a, you know, 400-mile race. And it's like you're hitting your marks, and it's like, you know, and you're just hitting your marks, and they're over the radio. They go, yeah, that was the fastest lap that you ran. And you're like, wow, the person came in, watched the video, became a free affiliate, and bought something, you know, and you're just going. And then all of a sudden you go into a corner a little too deep. And then all of a sudden your arms are like this because the car went sideways, and now you're stepping on the brakes and you're trying to not hit the wall. And you see it with the best of the best of the best. People that have been doing a sequence, of people that have been doing a combination and practicing for years, Nicholas. And then someone, I don't really play golf. I only play a couple of times, but they say that's the reason that people play golf, because the second that you think you got it, you're humble. You know what I mean? You hit a ball and it doesn't go anywhere close to where you're doing it. So I'm going to tell you that when you notice that it's not clicking, that's just awareness. So you're going, wow, it doesn't seem like it's clicking, and just ask yourself, in what ways can I make this better? Let me go back to the original comment. Am I adding something? Because as soon as we get confident, Nicholas, you'll start. My mentor told me all the time to record what I say. And that's why Zooms are so good, because, if you record what you say and you have it on audio and you get a weird response or it doesn't click right, and you go back and you listen to it, and you go, oh, I said I was building a company. I didn't say, hey, Nicholas, I was wondering if you could do me a huge favor. I'm helping expand a company. No, you messed up and you said, I started my own company. And now you wonder, oh my God, that was supposed to be 43, and instead I went to 47, and the sequence wasn't right. I went to the next number and I moved to safe handle and nothing. And where the frustration comes from is if we don't recognize we made the small change. Like when I talk about the treasure map, you think that you're on the X and you can dig a pretty big hole, Nicholas, for a long period of time. And it's like, there's no freaking gold here. There's no diamonds here. And then you go all the way back to where you got the map, look at it again, going, I don't know why I turned left instead of right there. And Nicholas, I'll just tell you, that's people doing people things. I still do it to this day. If someone if someone reacts to me super excited, I forget the process. It's just human nature. It's like, oh my God, I've been praying for something and you sent me this email. And then I go off on them on the chat, and I don't go off on them after they become an affiliate. And I'm going, oh my God, well, this will be perfect for you. And we happen to be in Sweden, and all of a sudden I'm doing it the wrong way. And now I threw up on them. And then they go, you know what? I in second thoughts, I'm not a salesperson and this is not for me. And I'm going, oh, I chased them out of the business. Because curiosity is what gets people there. Enthusiasm and baby steps. If you give them a baby steps, they're in their mind going, okay, he asked me to put my name and email in and watch a short video. I can do those baby steps. See, you gotta let them take the steps before it works. So Nicholas, did that help you? Oop. Okay, cool. Maybe I got to make you host, Craig. I'll just have to unlock them, I guess. I don't know.
I can unlock them too.
Oh, okay.
I'm co-host. Cool. Yeah, as long
Nicholas,
as I'm co-host.
Great question. Fine. And by the way, Nicholas, I am super, super, super proud of you. Really, really, really proud of you.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
I love Nicholas because he'll share with me when he's frustrated. He'll even share with me, hey, listen, things are not clicking. And every one of when you don't get results and you get rejection, feeling down on yourself and beating yourself up, that really comes very quickly. So I hear people all the time go, why am I so stupid? Geez, I should be able to get this. This is simple. And so now you start beating yourself up. What's the next step? You're a little depressed. You know what I mean? You're a little depressed. I don't feel really good about myself. Wait a minute. What made me feel bad? Doing this stupid business. That's what made me feel bad. If I didn't learn how to be an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be feeling bad. So I'm just going to put that on hold for a while. And Nicholas, you've been honest enough to say, hey, I took some time off to get my mind back into gear. And you guys will notice where those will go from years to months, to a month, to a week, to days, to a day, to minutes, hours, and then the minutes. So when I make a mistake, I just go, So that's where you guys see where what a great place to add that is when someone does get an air ball, when someone does make a lap and they almost wreck their car. That's why you got a bunch of people that usually will run around, slap you on the back of the head. There's a video out there right now where a guy did a air ball in the college finals, and he shot and he turned around and he did this. And one of his players ran behind him, slapped him on the back, and put his hand underneath his chin, Nicholas, and raised his head up. And I just got chills just telling you guys the story. It's like, you know, one of his other players is like, get that head back up there, get that shoulders back. We got a game to win here. Shake it off. Okay, great. Craig, back to you.
Nicholas, thank you so much. And we've got questions coming in. So just letting you know, I'm going in order by the people who've either submitted or whose hands are raised. So just letting everybody else know.
Yeah, I know you're a professional. Thanks for letting everybody else know.
Thank you. We have actually a question from the chat from Mary Castleman.
Okay.
She says, when you ask people to do you a favor, should we stop there or continue with the question and then wait for the answers after? I guess that's part of the whole process, or the certain way.
Yes, Mary, great question. I pause for, I don't know, maybe milliseconds. I just want their mind to go to something that they wouldn't want to do for you. And I'll explain. And then when you go into the rest of the sentence, they're going to be relieved, and that's why they'll help you. So example, Mary, I would say, well, I'm great that your family's doing great. We are already connected. And then I go, Mary, the reason I thought about you when I was watching this video conference, I was hoping you could do me a huge favor. I'm expanding a company right now. I'm helping to expand a company right now. So when you do a small pause and you say, Mary, I was hoping you could do me a favor. And she's going to go, just give them enough time to go, does he want to borrow money? Does he need a ride to the airport? Is he moving? What I need is I'm expanding helping with expanding a company right now. And I'm looking for individuals that could really help us do that. And I thought of you. See, so then she goes, he's just looking for a referral. And so that's the answer to that question.
All right. Thank you, Mary, for submitting that question. And another question submitted from Christine Larson. I'm messaging people all the time, and I only have 2 affiliates and 1 customer. And I'm trying to get people, but no one seems to want to join. She's in Colorado, and there's a lot of competition.
Okay. Who asked that?
That was Christine Larson.
Okay. So Christine, the first thing I can hear just by you asking questions, you use 2 ears and 1 mouth. I can hear from your question that there's some blocks that we need to clear from you. First of all, competition means nothing. In fact, competition and almost everything we think is the opposite of what it is. So example, everyone has a television, and sometimes people have 2 and 3 televisions. So why do they market televisions every year? Why do they always market televisions around Thanksgiving, around the holidays, and also around the Super Bowl? Because everybody wants to upgrade. So you're thinking that people are not interested because there's so much competition. If you don't get that thought out of your head, you're absolutely correct. So Henry Ford said it best. You're saying in my area, there's a lot of people that are and see the competition and they're not interested. Who's not interested in making some extra money? I can guarantee you that if I focus on any city in Colorado or any city in the world, I can find people that want to get out of that desperate situation. So it's the words that you're using, you know what I mean? So, you know, and the other thing is if you watch some of my other videos, you know for a fact that majority of the people are conformist. Majority of the people are going to take the path of least resistance. They're just not at the right time in their life. They're not. So that's why I sort of scare people, but my mentor did it to me. He said, Robert, I want you to get 72 people to watch that video in the next 30 days. Do you notice that he didn't say how many people would tell me they would do it and wouldn't? How many people would not be the right people at the right time? So I did a video yesterday called The Right Person, the right people. And it's like, when you say, first of all, let me congratulate you on getting a customer and getting an affiliate. See, there's some people that already give up before that. So what you need to do is you just got to increase your numbers. Again, the way that you hit a bullseye is consistently to keep throwing darts. So I hope that helped you.
All right. Thank you again, Christine. The next person live we have, I'd like to introduce, I hope I'm pronouncing your name, please, correctly, Ikedu Ezimozor.
Wow.
So Ikedu, go ahead. Let's see, I'm going to send you that link. Go ahead and click to unmute and ask your question. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone from Nigeria.
Good evening. How long have we known each other?
Yeah, so blessed and highly favored, Robert. How are you?
Blessed and highly favored.
Yes, thank you so much. I've really missed you.
I missed you too. It's like there's so many people in Africa and Asia and Latin America that tell me that there's no way they can get on these. But they're wrong, because here we are.
Okay, Robert, here is my question. I always feel that I have to reach out to 8s and 9s to build very fast in the business. And now what really gets me, not taking massive action is that I plan too much while reaching out to these 8s and 9s. Now I know I can do it. I know I can reach out to them. I have what it takes to reach out to them, but I plan too much. I think about everything, before reaching out to them.
Yeah, what you got to do is just know that you have me in your back pocket. You know what I mean? So sometimes what we do is we mentally hold ourselves back because we go, oh my God, what if I throw the line in the water and I get a bigger fish than my pole and my string can hold? So you know what I mean? So there's something in our mind is like, oh my God, what if I do reach out to an 8 and a 9 and then they immediately come after me? You just go, listen, I'm just doing what my business partner told me to do. If you create a free account and you have some questions, I'll connect him with you on Messenger, and then we can set up a time to do a Zoom. It's just my business partner. And then another thing that you always want to think of is I always find my 8 and 9s through 6 and 7s. And I find my 6 and 7s through 3 and 4s. So, that whole thing is everyone that's unmotivated and won't work on personal development knows people that are motivated. And so there seems to be a different magic that happens when you're connecting with someone from someone. You know what I mean? So, that's what Daniel was saying. Daniel was saying when he was reaching out to people and they say, Ikedu, Greg told me to reach out to you. Greg's a friend of yours. It just seems to have a little more magic, so don't forget to ask people who the best person they know are. Because it's when you're doing that, when you find your 7, 8s and 9s and 10s through other people, it's like you become a superhero because you want to help them win. Sometimes we don't want to do what we're supposed to do to make us win. But if Nicholas reached out to me and said, I got this guy I'm scared to contact, will you do it for me? Yeah, no problem. I won't do it for me, but I'll do it for Nicholas. You see what I'm saying? Did that help you?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
Thank
got to
you very
practice. It's great to see you again.
Yes, thank you so much. I love you.
You can do this, brother. You can do this.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
You bet.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's see. We have another live question here from Mr. John Tier. John, why don't you go ahead and oh, wait a minute. Did you get your question answered, John, or what? He did have his hand raised.
John had his hand raised, and then he had to go, huh?
He's still here. We'll bring him back in if he would like to, or he can
There
ask
he
the
is. There
question.
he is. He's laying. Unmute me. Unmute me.
Okay, well, I can definitely do that. There we go. John,
Yes, here I am. Hey.
hey, good to see you.
Yeah, I couldn't find the hand raise button. I don't know what's going on over here. You know, been looking for that thing. So
How you doing, brother?
I am incredible. You know, I like to say my future's so bright. My sunglasses got to wear sunglasses, you know. So
You absolutely do.
I'm having a wonderful time, Robert. I gotta compliment you on I don't know if it was the last one or the process. It was that one or the one after, but it's one where you really leaned heavily on asking people to open a free account.
Yeah.
And usually, Robert, you got to know, I type down like every single word you say. You know,
Appreciate you. Thank you.
I've got it from a couple of years back where I've typed down, and that's been like one of the best ones. As a matter of fact, I was using it this morning, and I got like 3 or 4 people right back to back saying, "Sure, send me a link. Sure, send me a link. Sure, send me a link."
Perfect.
And so the other thing that I wanted to say was that I've learned that some things you're just not going to know until you go through the process.
Yeah.
That's what I have found out, you know, that there are just some things you just, no matter how much you ask a question, is till you go through it, you won't really know exactly the things that are going to be like working for you. And so that's kind of what I wanted to say. And I think now our focus is really making sure that people can open up a free account, to really focus on, you know, getting people to get to a free account. So Craig, that was all I wanted to say. I just didn't want to try to type all that out in the box, you know.
Yeah, and it's like every step, we all know the steps. One is if we connected with them and the connection works. The next step is we get to ask them to do us a huge favor and they say yes to the affiliate link. You know, so that's where I was going through, you know, each and every step. And then it's like, okay, so now whether or not they watched the video or created a free account, you know what I mean? And it's like when people get sort of stumbled, just know that we all get distracted. We all get distracted. I get distracted. So I'll think about doing something, and then I was thinking about, I got to do some research on this. And then all of a sudden something comes up and I totally forget about it. You know what I mean? I told the person I would check it out, and I meant it, and I want to. and so, yeah, when you get really, really good at doing each one of those steps, and like you said, John, you don't know them until you go, okay, I got to get these people all the way through it. And here's the reason for you guys to really understand why it's important to get them to create a free account. Because if you help them create a free account, you now get to point, guide, and direct to everything, to their answers. You know what I mean? And so I always use things physical, like martial arts, for instance. I can't imagine calling up a martial arts studio and saying, "Hi, I'm thinking about getting into martial arts. Can you answer some questions for me?" And they'll go, "Absolutely." You know, and it's like, well, you know, first of all, I don't know if I can do it. Why don't we set an appointment for you to come down? You know, would you like me to prove to you that you can do this with no problem on a personal level, or would you like to see one of our classes and have me watch you? You can watch me do that with other people that are just like you. See, right away, if you notice that people that are excellent at helping people get what they want is try the dress on, try the shoes on. Let's go for a test drive. Now, I really don't know what kind of car I want. Well, John, let's try out this car. Let's take you for a drive. And so what people try to do is, if the person's made it sound too complicated on the message, you know, when I'm talking to them, then I'm never going to come to the studio. I'm never going to go down and check it out. So, you know, it's a constant reinforcement that you can do this. This is easy. I'm going to be there to help you. We're going to do this. You got to say the stuff to help them make the next step. Great job, John.
John, thank you so much. Got a question, actually a couple of questions from Nancy Nair. We're going to kind of take them through a little bit. And one of the questions that she has, I think I've heard from a lot of people too. When they share your video, okay, and people are interested and they see you, they want to join, let's say the company that you're involved with, MDC in this case. Do we put our link in the post so they don't join with you instead of us? And I do know that at the end of a lot of these presentations, you specifically say, get back to the person who shared with you. Can you talk about that a little bit more, please?
Yeah. Well, first, Nancy, and I hope you don't mind me being direct. In changing our mindset for us to be prosperous and have joy in everything in our mind, you got to recognize when you have a little bit of scarcity mentality. Scarcity mentality. What that means is someone's not going to steal anything that's already yours. Let me say that again. There's plenty of people in the world, and no one's going to steal something that's yours. So let me give you an example. If our goal was to share an affiliate link with people, and when they click on that affiliate link, if they said, well, listen, I really don't want to work with Nancy. Let's use me. I really don't want to work with Robert. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like his attitude. I don't like those stupid shirts that he wears. There's nothing that's going to stop them from not going to my link and just going to my daily choices link. They could purposely go in there, clean out the cookies, clean out everything, go to a different browser, go to a cognito browser, and totally not sign up with me. I would not want to work with a person that has that mindset. I just wouldn't. Secondly, is if people reach out to me, if they're not my friend, then they usually end up in my junk mail, right? So let's say they reach out to me and all of a sudden they say, hey, Robert, listen, I found your video. I really like it. And I'd like to work with you. It's easy for me to look in there and see who else they're friends with, because that's usually what happens. And I go, listen, all the information that you need about this company, you can get from Nancy Nair. She's a friend of mine. I would never in a million ways take anybody. And in all the years I've done this, if it's happened once in 35 years, and it was usually done by someone that was unethical. They purposely thought it would be better off signing underneath me. And honestly, it's not. Because if they're already got blockages in their mind of that they can do better if they're under somebody other than you, Nancy, they got some mindset stuff to clean up anyway. One last question I'd like to clarify is when you're saying you're sharing my video, my first answer would be one of these, because like Craig said, if a person reaches out to me in any way, I'm always going to steer them back. How'd you find my video? Who sent it to you? And so I'll always be able to go back and make sure that they sign with you, Nancy. But the reason that if you're sharing my videos and people are reaching out to you, just say, listen, Robert and I are business partners, because we are. And once you become a free affiliate, I can introduce you to them. Give them a reason why to use your link, Nancy. So I hope that's okay.
Okay. And then just a follow up, because I know that, the big thing lately with MDC is the FFX fuel, the fuel factor. She has said, and I know where you're going to go on it, but just for everybody.
Yeah.
Should we be posting the fuel video and making live videos?
Yes.
And I think maybe I would define what she is saying, making live videos, maybe a little bit more.
Right. Yeah, there's two groups of people that don't mind doing live videos. And if you love doing that and you want to do that, you should do that. Lisa Nadine always does live videos. And so if you're okay with doing that, Nancy, my deal is why not? And you again, you can talk about anything. The more content that you do, the better off you are. And when it comes to a product like Bill brought up, I don't know out of the 5,000 friends and the 28,000 followers I have on one page and 165,000 followers on another page, the reason that I'll post an FFX video, and if you guys are with My Daily Choice, if you're not connected to the group, you can go to the main group that we have, and then you can click on info. And when you click on info, you can see the videos that the company loads up. And you can actually download that video to your hard drive or your phone, and then you can upload it to any social media that you want. And so that is really, really powerful. I'll grab that link for you guys. See if I can beat Craig. There you go. And so you can actually, download the video directly from there. And I would definitely post it. I watched Jenna really, really close. I don't know if you guys know this, but Jenna still makes way more money than I do. And so I watch, she'll talk about, a peak of interest, and then she'll turn around and post an FX video, and then she'll post one about them, their story. So, you never know who's on your page or when you're going to see them. So, I always lead with the business when I'm connecting with people. But what I post on my social media, it's like, hey, I don't know what, I'll throw any dart at the dartboard.
Okay.
Thank you, Nancy. I appreciate you.
Thank you for your questions, Nancy. Another one from inside the chat here, and then we'll go back to a couple of live people.
Sure.
From Randy Welch. I have a lot of Facebook friends that I reach out to in the past doing it the wrong way. And he's saying, I mean, a lot. How do I recover myself reaching back out to them, doing it the right way without sounding spammish?
Randy, awesome question. Now, I know we had a lot of great questions so far here today, but this one is amazing. So there's a thing that people have difficulty with, and that's asking for forgiveness, saying they were wrong. It's probably second to asking for help. It's like I see Craig going like this. So people go, oh my God, I can't ask people for help. I'm telling you, you better get over it. If you want to be successful in life, you got to get over that. You can't build something by yourself. You can't. You need people. To be successful in this industry, you need a lot of customers and you need a lot of affiliates. Okay. So asking for help and asking people to do you a huge favor or do me a kindness, whatever word you use, that's difficult. But here's one that you can do is just say, I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is, Randy, is I'm going to reach out to you, and I've already contacted you wrong 6 or 7 ways. And I've also contacted you with every company that I've been involved in 35 years. That would be like 19. Okay. And here it is, as simple as it is. So, hi, Randy, this is Robert. Hope this message finds you and yours blessed during these uncertain times. And I just wanted to reach out. I watched a video conference and I was just really, really inspired to reach out to you. So hope everything's great. There's the connection, right? Then let's say that they don't reply, or they don't reply. They don't respond. They see your message and they've seen it, but they're not replying. Okay. This is the next message. Hey, Randy, the reason I wanted to reach out to you is I just hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Now, sometimes you can lead with that. That could be the reconnection, depending on how close you are to them. Now, if you reach out to someone and say, hey, Randy, I hope everything is going great and for you and your family during these crazy times. And I was on a video conference and I thought of you, Randy, and I just wanted to reach out and say, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And you leave a message like that. Oh my God. Now you really know where they are, right? So whether they responded or not, this is what I'm going to leave back. Most people would respond. Well, what do you need forgiveness for? You didn't do anything wrong with me, and you just got to say, Randy, because I know you so well and you've been such a great friend to me, every time I get a little overexcited about something that I'm newly involved in, I know you're the very first person that I reach out to. And because of my excitement, I'm now learning how to do this business properly. And I now realize that the way I've been approaching you is 100% wrong. And I'm just sorry that our friendship means a lot to me. And I'm just sorry that I did that to you. How many of you right now are going, oh my God, I got like 700 more people to contact now. You know what I mean? And you'll see this, even if you brought them into a company that God forbid went out of business and they lost money. People, honestly, everyone put a one or yes in the chat. How many of you sometimes just go, I just need a person to tell me that they messed up? It's like, how many of you know people that are waiting for a apology that they feel like they've never gotten? It's like, hey, Sean got me into that deal and it went out of business. Like Sean would ever hurt anybody. He would never hurt anybody. Oh, by the way, Sean lost money too. But it's just that's how people are. So for me to reach out to Randy or Sean and say, hey man, dude, I messed up, man. Please forgive me. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. And when you ask people to forgive you, how many of you know the first response is, forget it. They just need you to say it. And then they go, oh, forget it. No. I wish I knew more about this business. Listen, I'm a grown adult. I made my own decision. It wasn't your fault, but it is your fault until you apologize. Oh, I'm not getting in those things because Randy got me into something. It is funny, man. We're just human beings, humans doing human things, right? And then once they say, don't worry about it, no big deal, I totally get it, whatever. Listen, man, could you do me a huge favor? What? Would you allow me to try to approach you the right way? Would you allow me to approach you the right way? Yeah, sure. Could you do me a huge personal favor? We're expanding a company, and I would love permission to give you an affiliate link where you can create a free account like you would on Facebook or Netflix or Zoom, Amazon. And once you create that free account, there's some short videos that you can watch. And once you watch those short videos, I know for a fact, you're going to know of some people that our company can help. I'd really appreciate you if you'd allow me to send you a link. Now, how many people know that if you did that just the way I did it, and people go, dang, Sean, that was smooth. It's like, hey, that might work. Oh, that seems simple. That was easy. I think I could do it. Okay, how many people enjoyed that? That was a great question, Randy. Great question. I can still contact people that have been in 5 different companies with me. It's funny, I'll reach out and go, hi, Deborah, this is Robert. I hope this message finds you and yours blessed. And, I just want you to know that you're on my mind. I watched a video today and I just thought I'd reach out to you instead of not doing it. And people that know me really, really close, they'll come back and go, yes, I'll do you a favor. Send me a link. Because what I'm asking them to do is really, they know me. I'm not trying to get them in the company. I really, really want to use them as a person that can refer me to people that do need something. Did you guys catch that? When people know that you are sincere in doing that, it works every time. When they think that you're trying to be shady, that's when they're like, ah, come on. You know, so back to you, Craig.
All right. Thank you so much. Great question, Randy. Before we continue, I'm going to put a couple of links in the chat just to remind everybody. One is a link to Robert Hollis's YouTube channel where he has a lot of great videos. Yep. And, you know, to please go ahead and watch them. I'll put the steps. We put the steps link in earlier, but I'm also going to put in the steps to, or the link for joining Robert Hollis through his web page, and that's roberthollis.com/free. So you'll also get other updates and messages from him. And I'm going to also say thank you to Matt Hollis, Matthew, his son, for putting together the website, for making things work, and doing so much to help us and help Robert promote and share his messages. So Matthew, thank you so very much. We appreciate you and we love you. The next person I want to bring on has been very patient and waiting, Mr. Kai. Kai, go ahead.
Can you hear me all right?
We got you.
Hey, Kai, how are you?
Hey, thank you very much for everything that you do, Robert. And most importantly, thank you for yesterday's special training, because I'm not gonna lie and gonna be very transparent. I was actually kind of on a downs, went from an extreme high to all of a sudden an extreme low when the latest person who signed up basically bailed out because of his own fear and whatnot. But that's okay. But my question with that situation is, how do you deal with somebody in that case, say a prospect who became an affiliate, but decided to bail out because he got too many no's or whatever lame excuses that he has, but still tries to connect with you after, and tries to like get answers.
It's
I
really
mean, literally,
simple.
I mean, it's like dealing with an asshole.
Right. Yeah, it's one of the things is you just gotta love up on each other, Kai. It's like, you know, people are on their own journey, and they're always on their own journey. And what you got to just realize is that, you know, they really, truly thought they were ready. You know what I mean? It's like, and they go, okay. And I've been here, you know, I've talked myself into getting involved in a company when I wasn't ready. It's like hiring a workout person, Kai. I can guarantee you've never sat down with somebody. They are telling you, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm not living like this anymore. I am done. And they are so sincere in being honest that, Kai, I'm going to sign up for a membership. Here's my money. I'm going to make such a commitment. I'm going to sign up for 6 months up front. And then they ghost you. I've had, you guys, listen to this. I've had people give me tens of thousands of dollars to coach them, and they ghost me. So Kai, the first thing I want you to know is that don't beat people up for, they didn't lie to you. They really believed, for lack of better words, they actually believed their own BS. They were doing their best to say, God, I have to make a change. I got to do this. I will do this. And then they don't listen. They don't listen. So you say, okay, this is how you throw a dart, and they throw a dart and it goes in the wall. It doesn't even hit the board. And then they throw another dart and it bounces off the board and goes into the floor. And then they throw another dart and it goes in the wall again. They just say, I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. But they don't forget the feeling that you helped them with, Kai, of giving them a little bit of thought that this might be it. So that's why they're going, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this. I've even had people ask for their money back and with the business I'm in, and they get their money back and they're still reaching out to me and asking me questions. And I'm just nice to them. I treat them exactly the same as I do anybody else. The only difference, Kai, that I do is I give them a little bit of assignments so they don't waste my time. So I might say, hey, Kai, you and I working together, I just know that you should do the same thing that my mentor did to me. And my mentor told me that I needed to get rid of that stinking thinking, that it was sabotaging me and defeating me. And it was because of me not feeling enough, me not having a self-worth, me actually listening to what other people were saying about me. And I was actually believing it. So, my mentor told me to get, Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Miracle in the World, and then read it and get back to him. And, Kai, I'll send you the link to that book, but I really believe that that's something you got to do, right? So then think a couple of days later, they reach out to you, Kai, and they go, hey, Kai, I got a question. And you just have to put in there, so how'd you like the book? What'd you think of this video I sent you of Robert? Oh, I got really, really busy and I forgot to do that. And just be really nice and say this, Kai. Listen, if you are coaching and trying to help somebody and you gave them assignment and they just chose not to do it, can I ask what you would do next? I never thought about that. See, I'm trying to show you the path and the way, just like my mentor showed me. But you got to really ask yourself why you keep asking questions, but when you get an answer to the question, like Kai said, why are you being an asshole? Why do you ask a question and then someone gives you the answer to it and you just refuse to do it? Do you know why you do that? Did that help you, Kai? Yeah,
yes, it did. Just a little quick heads up. He may be contacting you in the next couple of days as well.
Yeah. So
you sent him a video. Obviously, he refused to watch it. Whatever.
Yeah,
he's
and
not ready.
That's what I just told them. And it's funny because over the years, Kai, I can tell you, there's at least, no joke, there's over 100 people that have come back to me later in their life and just went, God, I got to order that book. And then they read it and they call me. And it could be like 6 years later, 7 years later. And then they just come in and they're rocket ships. Why? Because now they know that they're willing to take it. Now they're willing to go. Great question, Kai. Great question. Love and appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kai. And by the way, for those of you that are watching and can't see the chat, both Kai and Robert say the word ask hole, meaning somebody who asks a lot of questions. So that's what they are referring to. I know there some people are going like, what did they just say? Kai, great. Thank you so much. And Robert also for bringing that up. Next question comes from Ola Meyer. Now, there's a lot of pieces to this.
Okay.
So it's basically, he's guilty of this particular process, saying way too much, getting people overwhelmed, giving them too much information, giving away too many books, trainings, and so on, maybe because in his day as a job and salesman, that's what he does.
Right.
So, and he beats himself up over it. How do you stop that process? Slow it down so it's like what you share with us.
Well, Craig, first of all, you answered this question, and I appreciate that. You said, how do you stop that? You stop that. It's really, really simple. I would pray for everyone that watches this video, live or recorded, that what I wish for each and every one of you is just a higher level of awareness. So awareness means, and I haven't said this in a long time, I'm glad that we're doing these, Craig, is that if someone said, I say this to Ola, I say, Ola, listen, I have a friend coming over, and he recently had a family member die in a car accident. And he's still struggling with it, big time. It was his brother. They were like best friends. So I don't know how you're going to do it, but while we're talking, if you can just not bring up, where are you from? Don't bring up, does your family live around here? Let's just try to refrain while he's healing and he's mourning, not to do something that would make him immediately trigger to the loss that he just had. But see, that's called awareness. And so now what you do is you actually think before you're saying. The one that I've used before is like, hey, listen, we're all going over to the grandma's. Yeah. Can everyone shut down the swearing? It's like, there's people out there that are probably going to be really sensitive about this weekend. Not everyone's a Christian. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, Craig, happy Easter. And Craig's like, just being nice, just saying, happy Easter. You know what I mean? Because you hit people that have different denominations. They were brought up different. They believe different. And so my whole point is that's part of being aware, right? And so if you knew someone was a different religion, why would you go out of your way to say something to them? You wouldn't. You're just aware. So Ola, now that you know that you do those things, the first thing I want to tell you is congratulations for being aware that you do those things. A lot of people don't. Most people just go, I'm saying exactly what you're saying and it doesn't work. Well, how long did the conversation happen? What do you mean? How long were you talking to them? I don't know, probably like 45 minutes, an hour. You're not saying what I said. Because my peak of interest is 15 seconds and my asking them a favor is less than a minute. So if you're going over a minute and 15 seconds, you sure the hell aren't using the same words I'm using. You see what I mean? They're going like, oh, wait a minute. So Ola, what you got to do is you got to recognize that you do that. I've never said this, but people, sometimes can put reminders. This is always remind myself that I'm enough, that I'm worthy, that I'm loved, that I'm strong. Maybe what you do is you put a rubber band on your wrist, and when you start throwing up on people, grab the rubber band and pull on it and snap yourself on the wrist. It's like, there's got to be something that you just tell yourself, until they do this, I'm not going to do this. And you do that for other things, Ola. Let's say that you met somebody and you're just getting to know them, and they were going, so can I move into your house this weekend? What are you talking about? Well, we both like each other. I was hoping that I could move in. That's the wrong sequence. Maybe we should date a couple of times. Maybe we should go out with each other. See, everyone has a sequence in their mind for other things, don't they? And do you guys realize that we get upset when people break that sequence? Think about this. So, people do this on the internet. They reach out to Ryan and they go, hi, Ryan, I seen you on Facebook. It looks like we got a profile that looks great. I'd like to get to connect with you. And Ryan goes, hi, listen, that would be awesome. Is there any way that you can wire me some money? Here's my bank account. See, that sequence is just a little off. I see author, big smile on his face. And don't you guys sometimes go, wow, that I can't believe they could make that next step. That I never thought of this until now. Do you do that? How would I feel if? How would I act if? Are you like, trying to get to the close and get them to buy product way faster than you should have? It's like, hey, I don't know. So Ola, great question. Great question.
And I'm going to add once again, as I had mentioned before, for those of you looking for a specific process, the certain way, and it doesn't only apply to this industry, it applies to a lot of industries, and will probably apply to your industry, whatever it is you're doing. Watch the video that Robert did recently called The Process. The link is now in the chat.
Craig, if I'll say one more thing. Do you guys realize that it's Albert Einstein said this, right? If you can't explain it to a kindergarten, it's too complex. So can you guys imagine that I could reach out to someone like Nancy and saying, Nancy, I was wondering how much would it cost to wrap my Tesla? I want to do something for my wife. I want to wrap my Tesla and a really, really nice color. And she goes, I don't wrap cars. Well, why would you ask me that question? I don't know. I just wanted to know how long it would take and how much it would cost. Why would you assume that I wrap cars in my house? I don't even have a garage. it's like I don't do this for a living. It's like, I think we crack people up because we assume things, right? And we know what that means, It's like we assume things and we ask people, it's like, how long have you wanted to start your own business? I don't want to start my own business. It's like, and then we get offended. I was telling my wife today, isn't it funny? Like we always go, well, who would want to do MDC? This is crazy. Brands, 11 brands, 800 products, incredible compensation plan, free marketing system. You can make money in this company. I guess I just found this out, totally off track. Do you know that to get to the highest rank of super affiliate, you need to sponsor 3 people that do 90 in volume? Do you know they also get to count personally enrolled customer volume? So if you had 3 people that each had 2 customers each that were doing 90 in PV personally, you'd go all the way to super affiliate in this company. And listen to this, you would never have to pay anything ever. And neither would the people that you brought in. I'm like, what? There's not another company that I'm aware of that you can make millions of dollars a year and never ever pay any money to get in up front or monthly. If you guys know one, let me know. I guess Amazon would be that way, but it wouldn't have a way that you get paid off people. But there might be some people that make $1 million off promoting Amazon affiliate links and never ever bought anything from Amazon. And that's probably not possible, but you can. Okay, great. Thanks, Craig.
Absolutely. Let's move on to another live question, this time from Lisa Nadine. I see your hand up, Lisa. So let's go ahead and please share with us. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. What's up, Robert?
Lisa, how are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. That's been my 3.5 years, and it just keeps getting gooder and gooder, my friend.
Well, it does, because you keep getting gooder and gooder, and I'm proud of you.
I really wanted to jump on today because, like you said, I've asked so many things over the years. Now I'm at the point where I'm done asking. I've just really got out of my way. And you know what? I'm just going to listen. And I don't know what it was. I got to share this with you guys. I've known Robert for 3.5 years. And one of the first things he ever mentioned to me, I was not good at going live, but he mentioned a story called Who Moved My Cheese? And I actually found this book, Robert, and I started reading it. I watched the video 3 years ago, but I started reading this and I found the one page and this was it. What would you do if you weren't afraid?
Yeah.
What would you do if you weren't afraid? That's what I got out of this book. And that's when I learned to push the damn button. And the other day, Robert was doing one of his teachings, and you guys, I love the way Robert calls you out without calling you out. Okay, he's so good at it. And I mean, I sent him a message. I was in tears after this video because I've been with him for 3.5 years. And he literally like grabbed me by my chest, pulled me through the phone and said, "What are you doing? For 3.5 years and you're still in the same spot. What are you doing?" And he went, "Oh, that's right. You're the rebel." And I just went, oh, like through my heart, because I've always considered myself the rebel. And now I'm just like, ooh, that was the link I was missing. And I finally, I've just got to that point. You know what? Why won't you just do what I ask you to do, Lisa Nadine? Why won't you just try it for 365 days? Why won't you just try it? So I've told my team, I said, I'm doing this Robert Hollis's way for the next 365 days. Do you want to make money? Yes, no. When I ask you that question, there's only two answers. There's either a hell yeah or an I don't know. And if you're an I don't know, then I planted a seed and you let me know when you're ready to go. And if you're a hell yeah, it's a free affiliate account. And Robert Hollis, I have you know, in the last week and a half, my team has signed on almost 30 free affiliate accounts. Just like, you want to make money? Yes, no. I mean, I love you. And you guys, we hear about people that won't do it and won't listen. And I was one of those people. And I'm so, because I had to get out of my own way. Had nothing to do with Robert, had nothing to do with any of the training that any of my leaders gave me. It was me. Yeah. So if you find somebody that's not doing something on your team, it has nothing to do with you. It's their own personal programming and alignment that they're working on. And I'm just blessed that Robert stays consistent with who he is, because that way, when I was ready, Robert's still right there, man. So love you.
Lisa, I love you. And how many people, when you hear the message like that, that's why I do what I do. I want every one of you to imagine in the near future, not years from now, in the near future, that you have someone that you introduce to this that says what Lisa said to me. Because Lisa, I am so proud of you. I'm super, super proud of you. And a lot of people don't know this. Lisa's not on my team in MDC.
No.
So when you want everyone to win, it's like, guess what? Then you know, I know Lisa's going to walk the stage. And when she does, it's going to be fun because I'm going to be in the front row crying my eyeballs out. Because, you know, I can honestly tell you, Lisa, that I had a lot of aha moments like that with my mentor. I really, really did. And it's funny. It was like when you sort of surrender and give up, it's like the combination of the safe comes to you. You know, I found out that my mentor was taught by Jim Rohn. And here's one thing that I don't understand that I need to do a video on. I probably will do one of the next ones on this, is when I found out where my mentor got his info, I can't tell you how fast I went through every Jim Rohn video that I found online, but it was frickin' fast. I got every book that he got. I read it over and over again. I'm going, wow, if this is the mentor's mentor. And the thing that you can honestly see when people, you know, I have people that are close to me, really, really close to me, and they'll reach out to me and go, you know, I'm having a little problem with this. And I said, hey, did you watch my video from yesterday that I did at noon? No, I didn't know that you were doing videos. And I'm going, well, I think it was number 98 or 99 for the year. I mean, how unplugged can you be?
Yeah. Well, and it's about wanting meet them where they are. And you're very, very good at that. And just learning to stand in my truth and live my truth regardless of whatever. But you told me that you can never say the wrong thing to the right people, Lisa. Just keep talking, because if they don't understand you, it's because you don't believe in you. You switch that paradigm and you start believing in you, and you will attract every single one of them that loves and believes you the same way that you do. You taught me how to stand on my own. You taught me how to not be afraid by myself. You just have no. And it's so funny. I actually got to meet Jenna in October, and I told her the same thing. You guys have no idea what you've done for me. And she said, oh, yes, I do. She said, because somebody did it for me, and now you're going to do it for somebody.
Yes, that's it. Oh my God, Lisa, I love you. Thank you
Just
so
for
much.
loving, just for being you and loving us the way you do. You are truly an amazing legend, Robert.
I love you, Lisa. Thank you so
I can't
much.
wait to sit in that VIP section with you and Terry.
Hell yes. Hell yes. It's coming. No doubt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, Lisa. I love you.
Well, happy Easter.
Bless you, and thank you, Lisa. Appreciate that. Robert, you know what? She brought up something that I don't think I've heard you share in a while. Okay. And if I did, it was probably because I missed one of your presentations. 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern every day on Facebook that Robert's been doing, sharing us wisdom and his knowledge in brief segments. The yes, no. Where did that come from? I love the way you tell the story, and it's something that everybody who has not heard it, who's watching, should really get an idea about.
Excellent. You know, my wife and I, Craig, thanks for bringing that up, because my wife and I were talking today about it. How many of you, when you have a tendency of telling your story, and if it's not here, it should be here. If someone said, you know, Lisa, tell me a little bit about yourself. And your immediately things as you're talking about all the victories, victory to victory to victory to victory to victory to victory to victory. That's when you know that you've done enough work on yourself. It was like Ray Higdon was posting today about, you know, he's with Joe Dispenza, and, you know, he's starting to do meditation. I was exposed to this 35 years ago. And when you really start digging up stuff that are your primary memories from the past, and they're not good, they're just triggers. You know what I mean? And I worked on myself so well that when someone talks about my past and wants me to bring up my past, it's like I now think about the good stuff. It's weird that I've actually used to forget the good stuff, and I only remember the bad, and now I only remember the good and I forget the bad. You know, there's people that will actually come up to me and so, like, my wife brought this up, Craig. So thanks for bringing up the story. And I'm going to apologize to you guys up front. We're probably going to have to end with this story. You know, it's almost 1:30. But what happened to me is when I was first exposed to this business, very first time of seeing anything about entrepreneurship. And listen to me, some of you probably are not going to believe me. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. I grew up in an environment where you didn't have to go to school, because the goal to go to school is to get a job. And where I grew up, I just seen this on a post yesterday, where I grew up in the Bakken oil field. It's the second largest oil reserve in the world. And it's the #2 state for producing oil right now in the United States, next to Texas. North Dakota produces more oil in the United States than Alaska. So if you want to work, you can work. They're not fun jobs. They're not easy jobs. They're a lot of labor intensive and working in below zero weather. But if you want to go to work, you can get a job there. So that's all I knew. So when I got hurt and put on workman's comp, and someone asked me if I'd be interested in helping a person expand a company, same thing that I use today. When I first got introduced to this guy that made money, he introduced himself and then he showed us a video. He did the whole presentation on a video. So you guys got to understand that the reason I do business the way I do it is because I've made tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars doing it the way that he taught me. Get people, get excited, get people in front of a video. The next step was not, me and Terry were talking this. She said, you should bring up more about, your failures. So it really relates to people. And I feel like I do a pretty good job of that. But Bill Gould went back to San Diego. I met him in LA. And so now I'm learning from a couple of people that have a lot of egos. And God forbid they would do what Bill would do, little rebellious. Lisa brought this up. And so this one guy named Craig Wilson, these guys work for a company, and they brought in a guy named Wes Martin that had won awards for selling Britannica encyclopedias. So he won awards for going door to door selling encyclopedias. Do you think that his way would be just a little different than a guy that's made $62,000 a month building a network marketing group? Okay, here's the problem. I don't know. I don't know that. So he's telling me, Robert, what you got to do is you got to go to a baking store supply place, and you got to buy these little pink boxes that you could put like 4 cupcakes in. Buy about 10 of those. And then you want to buy some string, and then buy little wooden pencils that you would score for miniature golf or golf. And then take a razor blade and cut a little carving in the pencil, tie this string in there. And he's showing us, tie the string to this pencil, and then you put the pencil through the box. Once you fold the box together, then you cut a slot in the top of the box, and you go to a printer and you get these things where people can put their name and phone number on it, and they can register to win a trip to Hawaii for trying out your water filter system. And then take this thing that the company offers, they pick every month, they pick a person that they're paying for, you and a guest, to a full expense paid trip to vacation to Hawaii. And so you slide that in the box and you staple it and put it in it. And then I had to go out cold market to people that own these small convenience stores and tell them that I was going to pay them $0.25 a lead if I could put this box there. And then people would put their name in it. And then I would pay them $0.25 a lead. They would count it out. And then I would call these people and try to set appointments with them to go over to their house and test their water and let them try out a water filter. Why wouldn't I believe that if they knew Bill, that that's the way Bill taught them? Boy, I wish this would get to everyone in this industry. I wanted it. I was broke. I was desperate. I had no electricity. I would have done anything. And some of you'll get mad at me for saying this, but at that time in my life, I was so desperate. If I was told to do some things that I thought was a little shady or unethical, I would 100% do it, not to have my family kicked in the street. That's how desperate I was. And so one out of every 50 leads would say, sure, come over to my house and do a water display. I'd set up these puppy dogs, and I'm just going, I'm not gonna be able to make this. It's just not for me. And all of a sudden, these guys that are in this office in LA said, guess what? The company has got a convention, and it's at the Western Bonaventure. I didn't have any money. My electricity still shut off. And one of the idiots did say something right. They said, if you don't go to this convention, I'm not working with you. So this goes back to the question that Kai asked. You know what I mean? How nice are you to these people? These people weren't nice to me. I wasn't buying any product. It wasn't working for me. And people borrowed me some water filters to do this deal. And now they're telling me to go to a convention. I don't even have enough money for parking. So as Western Bonaventure is a significant emotional event, I'll never forget it. I found a place to park a long ways away. I didn't have to worry about people stealing my vehicle, because if you would have looked at it, you would have walked by it. You know what I mean? Beat up Toyota Celica. Every fender was a different color. You know what I mean? Because I'm a mechanic. And I go into this convention, and everything that's happening at the convention, I know this has never happened to you guys. Have you ever been to a place where you wish you were someplace else? And I was sitting in there and watching these people do training, and I'm like going, oh my God, this is not for me. I don't want to be here. Man, this sucks so bad. And then all of a sudden they started doing recognition. And a person walked by and says, oh my God, you know, I just hit super affiliate. I just, you know, I'm making this kind of money. I got all these people. And I'm going like, okay, so now apparently people are being very successful at this. So not only do I suck, but I guess I'm not very smart, because I'm not getting this. It's getting worse for me by the minute. And how many of you know that when you're in the wrong state of mind, it just keeps getting worse? It just keeps getting worse. I'm not sitting in front. I'm sitting in the back with my arms like this. I'm all pissed off. And all of a sudden this guy walks up, and they said his name is Ahmad Mahad, or so it was a Mid-Eastern name. And he gets up and he's, oh, I'm so happy. He says, I hit top position. I getting second car, building new home. I love this company. I love America. And I was just going, now people that can't even speak English. And I popped, like Lisa said. All of a sudden I was like, no, I've had it. I'm going to find out what the hell I'm doing wrong. And I walked to the front of the room, and all his downline was giving him hugs and stuff, and his upline was giving him high fives, and people that knew him. And I patiently waited, and I walked up and I said, man, congratulations. He said, thank you. Thank you. And I said, can you please help me? And he said, I would love to. And I said, what do you say to people? And he says, I walk up to people and say, hello. He says, how do you approach people? I was going, honestly, he said, yeah. I said, I don't approach people. He goes, that's a huge problem. He goes, you need to talk to new people every day. And I was like, no internet, no cell phone. What the hell? You know, I got a, stranger danger. They even had a deal that who should you talk to? And now we can use cell phones, right? And they say, if you put a cell phone under someone's nose and it fogs it up, talk to those people. See the fog there? Yeah. Only talk to people that are breathing. And the other one was, if they're within slapping distance. Now that really brings on a different meaning today, doesn't it? Yeah. So if they're within slapping distance, you should talk to them. And he says, say hi. And then when they look at you, they might acknowledge you and you might not. And he says, look at them and say, I'm looking for people that want to make more money. Is that you? Yes or no? Would you like to make more money? Yes, no. And I said, can you guys see me doing this when you were brand new, and some of you that are new? I looked at him and I said, what if they ask questions? See, that's too simple. That's way too simple. What if they ask questions? See, I'm thinking, I'm Bill, I'm overthinking. Craig, I'm overthinking. You know what I mean? And I'm going, so what if they ask questions? I said, listen, I'll answer your questions. You answer mine first. Do you want to make money? Yes, no. I don't want to get off track here, you guys, but do you know why a capture page is the best thing you can send to people? Because they either put their name and email in, or they check the X up top and they leave. Yes, no. You going to give me your email address and your name? Yes, no. Yes, no. See what I mean? It's like people need to just instantly do things. And he said, you answer my question first. You want to make money? Yes, no. I said, oh, okay, yes. He says, awesome. because I'm going to introduce you to my business partner. And he started with enthusiasm and excitement. And I found that I didn't find this out later. I don't know if I've shared this part of my story, but he was working with the same upline as my mentor was. His name was Jeff Roberti. He's known as the $100 million man. And he says, I introduce you to my business partner, Jeff. Jeff's the money man. This guy's been in business X amount of time. He's made this amount of money. He's helped these amount of people make this kind of money. You talk to Jeff. When can I introduce you to Jeff? And I went, wow. And he goes, who's your money man? I said, well, I was brought in by, excuse me. Excuse me. I'll take all the blessings. Yes. Okay, even on the recording, I'll take the blessings. Yes. Okay, all right. Okay, so I said to him, he goes, who's your money man? And I said, Sean introduced me to the business. He goes, did he walk the stage? I go, no, he's not the money man. Wow. Here's another thing that when the teacher's ready, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. And I went, no, he didn't walk the stage. He's not even here. And he goes, okay, who's above him? I said, Craig. He goes, is Craig here? I go, no. He goes, is Brian here? No. I went up another level, right? And I'm going, God, I think it was Michelle Turan. Michelle Turan, she's a flight attendant. Did Michelle walk this stage? No. Who's above her? Peter Wilson. Oh, is Peter Wilson here? Yes. He told me that if I didn't come here, that he was never going to work with me again. He says, I don't know Peter. Did Peter walk the stage? I go, no. No. And I'm going, these are the guys that I'm edifying him, I'm promoting him. He's telling me I'm an idiot. Okay. Some of that will sink in for you guys, then some of it won't, right? And then the next thing is I said, well, he was brought in by Sherry Sharman. Oh my God, I know Sherry Sharman. Sherry Sharman's brought in by Bill Gould. I said, wow, that's the guy that I met a couple of weeks ago. He goes, you met Bill Gould? I said, yeah. He goes, why aren't you working with him? I said, well, he lives in San Diego. He goes, I got one question. Yeah. Did he tell you to call him if you needed help? Yeah, he did. Did he give you his number? Yeah. Why didn't you call him? Well, because he's really successful and he's probably too busy and he's probably helping a lot of people. And I haven't even paid to get in the company yet. Why would he talk to me? I'm not enough. I haven't done anything. How many of you don't reach out to people because you do it because you make up all this BS in your head of why you're not deserving, why you're not worth it, why you're not enough. And he says, listen, you call one Monday morning, when you get up, you call the company in Memphis, Tennessee, and you tell them to leave a message for Bill. Bill will call you back. And I said, okay. So I did that. Bill called me back and he said, what are you doing this weekend? I said, anything you tell me. He says, come to San Diego. And I didn't tell him I didn't have any money. I slept in my car. And that's the rest of the story. Now Bill's showing me, hey, listen, first thing we got to do is get you in. I go, I don't have $35. He goes, don't worry about that right now. Who do you know? Name someone that's motivated. Name someone that's this. You guys have seen me do that training. I did it live at Mastermind. I pulled a lady out of the audience and went knee to knee with her. Craig, you watched me do that. And went knee to knee with her and got her to dream and asked her if she would give me someone to call. And she immediately said yes. in front of all the people at Mastermind. So I found out why she needed it. And she needed to make 15 grand a month. So I gave Bill a name. He asked permission if he could call him. He called him, and Rick said, I'm on my way down there right now. I'll be there in, 30, 40 minutes. How many of you could be so damn excited and listening so well that someone from Simi Valley would jump in a vehicle and drive all the way to San Diego without traffic? That's at least an hour and a half. If you can't do that, you better get people in front of people that can get people that damn excited. Bill knew I couldn't do it. That's why he talked to my people. Whole different training. My job is to get somebody results. So Craig, thank you. So now when I got involved with Bill, that's why you guys hear me say in my first 45 days, did you guys ever notice why I say in my first 45 days, I made over 10 grand? Because the first 2 weeks sucked really, really bad, doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing because I was listening to somebody that was not documented. And so I don't want to leave the call on that. How do you know that someone's documented? I just seen this post the other day. The person said, I need your help. I need a social media manager. Do not share with me someone that's not willing to allow me to personally connect 4 of their best clients. If they won't allow me to talk to their best clients to see if the money that I invest will get me a return on my investment, please do not leave their number. Why would someone be that stern? Because like me, he's paid me people, told me he's paid people that had told me that they could get me results, and they don't. That's that whole Virgin CEO, Richard Branson. So when the guy asked him, what does it take to make incredible income? Wisdom. Wisdom. How do you get wisdom? Making a lot of mistakes. So when I first built a website, not to get off track, because I got a website, I got to get a lot of people to see it. See the energy that I'm sending out there? Because I don't know what I don't know. Okay, I got to find a way to get a lot of people to see my site. All of a sudden, ding, 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 these things pop up. I'll get your site hit by 1 million people. Oh my God, that's what I want. Paid $10,000. They got my site hit 1.1 million times. They did exactly what they told me what they do. Not one freaking person put their name and email in. Why? Because I was looking for people to see my site. No, listen, I need people to see my site and put their name and their email in there. Okay, let me throw that out there. All of a sudden I see these things, guaranteed people signing up. Spend more money. Got 6,000 people that put their name and email in that form. Not one of them bought anything. Do you guys see how detailed you need to be to target the right avatar? And once you figure that out, you better be learning from a person that knows only how to do that. Right now, I'm seeing in all the chats, oh my God, I'm doing this. And everybody's like, ah. And I'm going like, wow, man, 2-3 months from now, they're going to want to beat their own ass. Because we want so bad to get results that we're willing to just do what anybody says. Not once did you go, hey, listen. Hey, Robert, I got this great idea. John, go ahead and share it with me. Well, I'm doing this, 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 and then I thought I would do this, 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 and this. John, that sounds awesome. What kind of results have you gotten from that? How's that working? Well, to be honest with you, I haven't gotten anything out of it yet. Oh, great. I'm not doing that. It's like me, I'm so weird. I said that in that training on yesterday, didn't I? I just said I'm a weirdo. I want to find someone that's doing something correctly. And then I'm just going to go find out who they taught to do that. And if they can duplicate their success with other people, I'm just going to give up, surrender, and follow directions. And then everybody in the world says how great I am. Oh my God, Robert, you're freaking amazing. You're a genius. Yeah, I found a guy that was making 60 grand a month. I surrendered. I did and I'll bring this up and then we got to go. The first 2 weeks I just explained to you was not a good experience for me. I almost didn't do this industry ever again. I almost gave up. You know why those 2 weeks were so important, Kai, in my journey? Because I think that if I didn't get to that point in my life where I had a little bit of hope because things were so bad, and then I went out and tried and did what they told me to do, and I didn't get any results, boy, did I surrender when I met my next guy that knew what he was doing. I was able to stop, Kai, everything that I had been taught before that. So now I was able to get rid of all my distraction and focus on one thing that he told me to do, which you guys have seen him master the mundane. Robert, can you get excited? Yeah. Let me show you all the people I got to 10 grand their first month. Pages and pages of them. Him with pictures with all of them with all the colored copy of their check. This is back in 1987. I helped this person. 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 If you do what I tell you. And then he even gave me a goal. He said, Robert, you got to do 27,000 in volume. I know that sales coordinator, which we call 25K. I know it says 25K, but if you do 25K, your payments back is going to be around $9,800. $9,800 for a month. He goes, there's just something about having 2 digits in front of the comma. He goes, so if you got a check for 9,800 or you got a check for over 10 grand, we're talking 200 bucks. What do you think would be more impressive? 10,000. So I never found this out till later, you guys, but he had me shooting past the goal that he knew I needed to achieve. Did you catch that? So I was shooting for 27,000 in volume and I didn't hit it, but I still became a 25K and I still got a $10,000 check. Now everyone's in trouble. I know I went too long with the story. I went to the wealthiest person I knew, Kevin Nguyen from Vietnam, worked as a mechanic with me. And I walked up to him and I said, Kevin, look at this check. He goes, I'm happy for you, Robert. That's awesome. And I said, look it, I'm going to sign the back of it. And I want you to borrow me money so I can get my electricity on and I can make sure that I don't get kicked out of my apartment. And I'm gonna give this check to you. We'll write on the back of it for deposit only to Kevin Nguyen and then put your account number. But I need you to borrow me the money so I can stay alive. but I need to show people this check. He goes, I trust you 100%. And I was able to keep that check for 30 days because Bill told me to. Did you guys catch this? Until I got my next check. You become very, very creative. So now my presentation was a little different. A little different. Hey, Bill, how are you? Great. Check this out. Holy crap, 10 grand? Yeah, that's what I made last month. I need your help. Who do you know that would like to make money like that? Well, what is this? Wrong answer. You want to make money? Yes, no. I do. I want to introduce you to the same person that taught me how to get this check. It almost chokes me up. So next month we did 125,000. Next month we did 258,000. And then I became a super affiliate, which is called national marketing director in that company. Made $1 million before the age of 30. And all I did is got excited about my future, edified and promoted Bill, and put them in front of Bill's video. You guys, I still live in LA. He lived in San Diego. I wasn't putting people in a car and driving them all the way to San Diego. I was putting them in front of his video. So guys, so can you guys put people in front of Josh and Jenna's video? There it is. Craig, that story took longer than I thought, but it was the way it was supposed to be delivered.
Yes, it was. And it told a whole lot to everybody watching. And wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Robert, for sharing. Thank you for being the mentor, the advisor, the giver that you are.
I got to
Ladies and
make one quick announcement before you close it out.
Okay.
This video is going to go to Matthew. And Matthew's going to have it in our back office. So if you want your people to see it, they got to go to roberthollis.com/free. And that's how they can see it. I'm not going to be posting this out for other people to see. If you want to get people to see it, all you got to do is promote it. All right. Is that correct, Matthew?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, no, we plan on adding a bunch of content specifically to roberthollis.com, as we used to do, that we're not sharing anywhere else. And that all will be exclusive content for there. So definitely go to roberthollis.com/free. You'll get my dad's book out of it for now. And then when we open up the whole training archive and continue to add more, we'll send login links out to everybody or how you can get those. So yeah, you can get how's it working.
Are we
right
sending
now
everyone a PDF copy of this book?
for free? Yeah. If you go to roberthollis.com/free. So if you haven't read it yet, it's incredible. It's a quick read and it's great.
Have we talked about this? No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, no.
I'm just doing what Matt says. And
Right.
you guys notice how many people were on this because we promoted it and got people to go to the link instead of just posting it on Facebook. And before I got to let you guys go. How many of you post a 1 in the chat if you have not been getting notified from Facebook when my videos go live? Look at that. Oh my God. So if you guys are wondering why we're promoting the training like this from now on, it's so you guys know that it's there. And then you guys will have an archive of it. There's been a lot of people that have been sending me messages and saying, Robert, you post your video in Vision Team and we can't find it. I'm going like, wow. So if Facebook isn't going to help me help people, then we got to find another way to do it.
Yeah. It's actually funny. It's something that we took all the training off of the site, right? And then started putting it on social media for people to consume and putting it in the Facebook group. And then as things have gone, normally the way that Facebook works is like they give you a certain amount of visibility, and then they want you to like pay for the rest of it. And that's where like Facebook boosts and Facebook ads come into it. So I think as that
They
started
allowed me to
happening
do a
again-
free account, and then they actually teased me with some great information, Matt. And now they want me to buy something.
Yeah, nothing's ever free. No.
Oh my God, that sounds so familiar. Why would that work?
It's a good way to market things, somewhat, some may say. So
Yeah. Okay. I love you guys.
Thanks, Dad.
For those of you that celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. For those that don't, happy weekend to you. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to do me a huge personal favor, get people to say, you got to go watch this video. There's going to be 3 people, 1 that don't, 2 that is going to say, oh my God, I noticed that the video is 2 hours long. And then the other people are going, oh my God, 2 hours of information. Yeah. Okay. So that's, we always have the 3 groups of people. So Craig, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you. Didn't he do a great job? And thanks to all the people that asked questions. I really appreciate it. I know that we all learn from each other. And like Melody said, Nancy, there's never, ever, ever a stupid question. Never. It's one that the only questions are brave questions that people were willing to ask, because there was a lot of people that will watch this live and recorded that didn't have the courage at that time to ask it. Wow, I've never said that before. That's pretty good. Okay, Craig, go ahead.
Robert, bless you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, wow. Thank you for taking time to watch this amazing training. And I'm sure there's going to be more coming. So get on that roberthollis.com/free. I posted the link in the chat. And by the way, if you want to download that chat, here are the directions to download it. If you want to save the information shared in this chat, and I'm taking the time so that I can put it here and you can go ahead and follow these steps. Click on the 3 dots to the right above where you're typing in the chat, that information, and then click on Save Chat. The information will download to your computer at the conclusion of this call. Okay, so I've given you time to do that. Please make sure that you do that so you can save the chat information. There's a lot of great information in the chat, links to follow, things to look at, as well as your comments. Bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us on Ask Me Anything. Robert, again, amazing. Matthew, thank you so much for your guidance and sharing and helping to set this up. And thank you for watching this amazing adventure, Ask Me Anything with Robert Hollis. Until next time, please be good to yourself, be cash, and bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Craig. I appreciate you a lot. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you, Matt. You guys should be able to unmute and say goodbye if you want to.
Thank you so much for everything, Robert.
Bye, Robert. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
You guys are
Thank you.
Great
Thank you
training.
very much. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Robert.
Happy
Bye.
Easter. Awesome.
Happy Easter. God bless.
Happy
Happy Easter,
Easter.
happy Passover, happy
Happy Easter.
Ramadan.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Robert.
Happy Easter, Robert.
Thank you, Craig. Bye, guys. Happy
Thank
Easter.
you. Thank you.
Shalom,
God bless.
everyone.